For those of you who are returning to our channel, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Today, I'm going to be talking about 12 things that you should not say to someone who is walking through infertility. In my last video, I talked about 12 ways that you can be supportive to a friend who is walking through infertility. If you would like to check that out, I will leave a link here in the cards and in the description box below if you want to go check that out, which if you're watching this video, I really suggest that you do, because this video is going to be talking about things not to do. The other video talks about things you should do. All right, so let's get started. Number 1, just relax. Do not tell them to just relax. Relaxation does not make a baby. The idea that stress or overthinking it is causing your infertility is just not true. Some of the most stressed out, unrelaxed people I know have gotten pregnant. And chances are, if a friend of yours has been walking through infertility for any period of time, they have already heard that line, so please don't say it. Number 2, maybe you just need to try harder. If a woman is in the midst of infertility, she's probably trying as hard as she can. She's tracking her cycles, she's checking her fertility, tracking her temperature, seeing a doctor, doing all that she can. To suggest that trying harder would do it, probably not the greatest suggestion to make, because she probably is trying harder. Number 3, starting statements with "at least." This is especially true for women who have conceived but had a miscarriage. At least you know you can get pregnant. Or for women walking through secondary infertility, well, at least you have a kid. Or for women who have adopted and still aren't pregnant, well, at least you were able to adopt once. The "at least" statements just aren't helpful. Number 4 kind of goes along with that, but don't minimize their pain by suggesting that though it's a medical situation, well, it's not life and death, or, well, it could be worse, or at least it's not this extreme medical condition. And this is true for any kind of pain someone is walking through. Don't see their situation as an opportunity to come in and minimize their pain. Number 5, well, you could always adopt. You could always do IVF. For some people, having a child and being pregnant is super important, and there's nothing wrong with that. IVF is very expensive. It does cost a lot of money, and it doesn't always work. So suggesting that, well, you could just do that isn't really that easy. And adoption is not for everyone. Adoption isn't just a plan B if you're unable to get pregnant. So just saying, well, there's tons of kids out there who need homes, why don't you just parent one of them? That kind of goes along with number 4, don't minimize what they're going through. And in my last video, one thing I had suggested is don't try to fix it, which kind of goes along with this. Just don't try to fix the situation. Number 6, this is one that I heard a lot. Oh, you're so young, you have plenty of time to get pregnant. When we first started trying to get pregnant, we were young, we were newlyweds, but we wanted to have a big family and we wanted to start our family young. And there's nothing wrong with that. We felt like we were ready. If I only wanted to have 2 children or 1 child, sure, waiting a little bit wouldn't have been a big deal, but we wanted to have a big family. We wanted to have tons of kids. So every time I heard, oh, you're young, it just wasn't encouraging. Honestly, it was just a reminder that I was getting older and that my chances were getting smaller, and that my dream of having a big family may just not happen. Number 7, well, maybe you're just not meant to be parents. I feel like from a young age, God gave me the heart of a mom. I had a desire to be a mom from such a young age. For as long as I can remember, I wanted to be a mom. The fact that my body was unable to bring forth children naturally did not mean I wasn't meant to be a mom. I am a mom today. Obviously, I was meant to be a mom, but that's a difficult one to hear when the thing you want most in the world is to be a mom and have someone say, well, maybe you're just not cut out for it. Number 8, oh, you're so lucky you don't have kids. You're so lucky that you have the freedom to just go and do what you want. We don't feel lucky. Sure, we have a lot of freedom because we aren't tied down by children. But couples walking through infertility, they would love to be stuck in the house after 8 o'clock at night. They would love to not be able to just get up and go because they have kids to think about. People walking through infertility aren't lucky, and they do not feel lucky either. If you want to complain about being parents or complain about your kids, your infertile friend is probably not the best person to go to. Number 9. This was an interesting one that I was told, and I don't know how common it is for people to hear, but I just remember what it felt like when I heard it. Maybe you just want it too bad. This suggests a lot of things, and I don't even really know what was meant by it. I think it was more, wow, you're really emotional about this, and this is hard for you. Maybe you want it more than you should. Maybe it wouldn't be so difficult if you didn't want it so bad. But it can also suggest, well, because you want to be a mom so much, God's just not letting you be a mom. Those are just not good things to suggest. Though it's a physical problem, it's emotionally wearing. And yeah, we do want it bad. And there is a time and a place for suggesting things are idols to people. So I guess my suggestion is use a lot of discernment and a lot of prayer for wisdom before you make suggestions like that. Number 10. So whose fault is it? Is it you or him? I know what they're asking. Is this male factor infertility or female factor infertility? Physically, is the problem within your body or his body, or is it a combination? First of all, I guess my question back would be, why is it important for you to know? Are you asking the question because you feel like you have a solution to offer, or because you think you have something to say that's beneficial to this person, or encouraging or helpful? Or are you just curious, or are you just trying to fill in dead space because you don't know what to say? So I think being aware of your motive is a good thing with that one. The other thing I would suggest is your choice of words. It is no one's fault. And people going through infertility already feel a sense of guilt along with not being able to conceive. So using the word fault just heaps that unnecessary guilt onto them and does not help with the healing process. Number 11, don't tell other people. This isn't really a quote of don't say this, but more don't say this. If someone opens up and shares with you about their struggle, don't go sharing their story, sharing their personal stuff with other people. If someone opens up to you, they're opening about something very vulnerable, and they're probably sharing it, believing they're sharing it in confidence. So don't go telling other people about it. The only time I would suggest doing that is if you know someone else who's been walking the journey for a long time, and you say to your friend, hey, I know someone who's been through this. Would you mind if I talk to them and see if they were willing to talk to you? That's very different than just gossiping about someone's infertility story. And lastly, number 12, do not tell them it will happen. Don't worry, you will get pregnant eventually. I cannot tell you how many times people told me that. And I have been walking this road for 11 years, and it has not been true. There are couples who will face infertility and will never, ever, ever get pregnant. So make sure that you are not the one who tells them they will. because it's just not always true. So those are my 12 suggestions of things that you should not say to a friend, loved one, or acquaintance that you know who is walking through the difficult journey of infertility. Like I said, I did a video about practical things that you can do to be supportive to your friend who's going through this, and I linked it in the description box below if you want to check that video out. If you or someone you know is walking through this difficult journey, I want you to know that you are not alone. And I'm sure you've been told that before, but it's true. There are so many other couples out there who are going through the same thing as you are. And sometimes talking to them, opening up, and just sharing your story and having someone listen who understands can be so healing. So if you are wanting to talk to somebody who's been there, I am more than happy to be that person. You can find my contact information in the description box below. You can DM me on Instagram or you could email me. Those will both be down in the description box. If you know someone who's going through this struggle and they're wanting to find someone to talk to, feel free to reach out to me or give my contact information to them. Please share this video. Even if this is information that isn't necessarily helpful to you right now, it could be immensely helpful to other people. And my goal is to help other women who are walking through this, let them know they're not alone, and help them by educating other people on what they can do to be helpful, what they can not do to be helpful. So if this was helpful to you and you would like to see more videos like this, please like and subscribe, leave us a comment. If there's any videos that you're interested in seeing on these topics, please leave me a comment below and let me know, and I'll try to make that happen. Again, thank you for coming and tuning into our channel. I hope to see you again in our next video. Bye.